Alright, this is about restoring an old fly. You know, occasionally you'll find flies in a fly box in a junk store or something that have a bunch of, or a fly box that has a bunch of old beat up flies in it. And sometimes there can be some gems in there, but more times than not they're just pretty much junk. But the heads and the hooks and all, a lot of times if they're not all rusty, are actually pretty valuable when it comes to restoring them and making a new fly out of them. Like this is looks like either a Betts or an Accardo. I believe it's a Betts fly. It was probably, you know, mass produced commercially and sold this particular one. You still see some like this occasionally, but most of these like this were made and sold in the 60s. What I like to do is take a single edge razor blade and put it in some kind of a holder to help you handle it better, and then carefully cut against the hook itself this way, and cut right down behind it here, and just start to peel that back. The beauty of restoring some of these old flies is, whereas they had some pretty good materials in the bodies and all, and the hooks, the hackles are usually cheap, and they are oftentimes not finished out too well. And I'm not really saying anything bad about these couple of brands I mentioned, because actually the Accardo flies from Louisiana are really some pretty nice flies. Anyway, what I'm doing is I'm cleaning up where this old thread is in here. I'm going to peel all that off with a razor blade. You start off by cutting it this way against the grain this way, and then cut down this way, and then you just clean it up right there. Now what I would do a lot of times, you see the finish on this is really beat up. I would put a clear lacquer finish over this, or a clear varnish. And a product that I like to use is a water-based acrylic varnish that you actually get in an art supply. I kind of prefer it over most of the other ones that I see. And what I'm going to do is just take a little fine brush and recoat the head like this. Now this varnish is thin. This is really a varnish that's used for painting over pieces of artwork. So it's a non-toxic clear varnish, which it dries a lot faster than like a polyurethane, and it doesn't stink up the whole house while you're using it. Now, a few strokes this way to take any bubbles out that are there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the camera, and we're going to let this dry.